Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, this is Ashima Shukla, and in this video we are going to talk about current events of the everyday life that are happening these days and the major breaking news that are important from the examination perspective. Right. So before we begin, I'd like to tell all of you the idea of putting up current affairs for all examinations. Now see, we don't exactly have exam center current affairs, right? Every current news is important for every examination. So we have tried to make it a bit more for banking by giving more banking related news events, but apart from that, the video is for all the examination students because every news event is important for all examinations. The difference lies in the fact that how they ask it. Like someone in some examinations they ask you indirectly, some examinations have direct questions, some have theory based or statement based questions, and the other examinations have one word options and such questions. So what happens is that the difference is in the type of questions or in the format in which it is asked, but otherwise it is just the same news event for everybody. Right, so this video is aimed for everyone, but major focus has been given to banking sector. So let's see now what are the major news events of the day. Beginning with the news event, the first one is Nobel Prize for Chemistry. So Chemistry Nobel Prize has been given for 2020 or has been announced for 2020 recently, and this time it has been won by two women. So for the first time in the history of Nobel Prizes, you can say that the Nobel Prize has been given to two women, like it has been shared by two women. Right. So who are the two women? They are Emmanuelle Parpentier and Jennifer Doudna. These are the two women who are winners of Nobel Prize of Chemistry for 2020, and this time it has been given for development of a method for genome editing. So they both had developed this technique called CRISPR-Cas9, which is a snipping scissors for all the genetic material. So when we do genetic editing, as we say, when we are editing the genes, at that time we need scissors to break that part of gene. So if we talk about DNA, you all might have seen how DNA is, right? So for editing certain characteristic of any plant or animal, we clip a certain part of the gene and replace it or for whatever. So how do we clip that? We can't use a normal scissors for clipping up a gene, right? So what do we need is we need a biological scissors or the snipping scissors, and CRISPR-Cas9 is a biological scissors which is used to edit DNA at a particular location, whichever location we have, since we cannot use our simple paper scissors for obvious reasons, right? So full form of this CRISPR is clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats CRISPR associated protein 9. This is the full form of CRISPR-Cas9, which is a snipping scissors. And it has been very, very, very helpful at this time when we are looking so much at genome editing and genome edited plants, and we are looking at cures of diseases basically. And this has also helped cancer therapies a lot for treating up of cancer and cancer genes basically. Right, so it has been a very helpful one, and it is a gene editing scissors or for biological scissors, which we say most of it, right? All right. So apart from that, for Nobel Prize of Chemistry, this award has been given 112 times till date, from 1901 when the first Nobel Prize was given to 2020. It has been awarded 112 times. Now, for all of you, all those who have been viewing these videos on daily basis, you people might have seen in a last to last video or so when the first Nobel Prize was given, I had given all the information about major information you might need for Nobel Prizes. Apart from that, a whole detailed information about Nobel Prize, a specific video aimed at Nobel Prizes has been uploaded on Entry App Hindi YouTube channel. So you can go through that video for once. The link is on my Telegram also, which is by the name Current Affairs by Ashima Shukla, and the PDF is also available over there. So for Nobel Prize overall information, because Nobel Prizes are going to be announced this week in the coming weeks in October, and then they're going to be asked an examination for but obvious reasons, and every time you find the questions from Nobel Prizes. So just go through that video once and the PDF once and all the recent Nobel Prizes which have been given, right? Now we'll be moving to the second news event, that is My Ganga, My Dolphin campaign. On 5th of October, Ganga River Dolphin Day is observed every year. This time on My Ganga, My Dolphin campaign, this campaign was initiated by National Mission for Clean Ganga, Wildlife Institute of India, excuse me, and Forest Department. So these three organizations have started this first of its kind campaign. Like, there has been no such campaign before, and this campaign consists of dolphin safaris. Nothing much but dolphin safaris is an important one here. What is in dolphin safaris is that, seeing all the dolphins, because dolphin is an aquatic animal of India, national aquatic animal of India. So it has been started in 6 places as of now. So from 3 states, from Bihar, 1 place, that is Kahalgaon. In UP there are 4 places, Bijnor, Brijghat, Prayagraj and Varanasi, and West Bengal 1 place, Bandel. These 6 places are the place where dolphin safaris have been started, right? Next is India's first animal bridge. Now, Animal Bridge you might have seen on various social media sites also, which was being appreciated a lot in the time being, because it is a concept of Netherlands. This concept was introduced by Netherlands, where they built this kind of bridge over the expressways or over the highways which were over there. Over that they built this kind of bridge for animals. This green bridge or wildlife crossing has been inspired from Netherlands, and this is going to be used in India in Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. Delhi-Mumbai Expressway is being constructed right now. It will be completed by, I guess, 2024 or 25 something. So it will be crossing Ranthambore Wildlife Corridor. So what are wildlife corridors? Between 2 national parks, when there is a connection between 2 wildlife parks, that is a wildlife corridor. And Ranthambore Wildlife Corridor is going to come in the way of Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. So to maintain that environmental region of the area, because vehicles do disturb animals a lot, that is a but obvious fact. So to reduce that disturbance, 5 animal bridges are or animal overpasses are going to be built on this Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, right? And the recent one which has been approved by Gujarat and Rajasthan is yet to approve, that is on Ranthambore Wildlife Corridor, right? As for this Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, this expressway is going to reduce the travel time from Delhi to Mumbai or vice versa from 24 hours, which right now is, to 13 hours. So now after this expressway is complete, traveling from Delhi to Mumbai is going to take just 13 hours. That is the amount of reduction that is going to happen by a build of this expressway, right? Next we have is Jan Andolan, which is a campaign for COVID-19 appropriate behavior. Now what do we mean by appropriate behavior? Appropriate behavior is that what are the steps that should be taken, or how to manage this COVID situation. So for that situation, Jan Andolan has been started, or it was started by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, on Twitter. And what does it have is it is passing on the key messages like wearing of masks and maintaining the hand hygiene because the hands touch the face and then there's a consequence, that is COVID. And the social distancing message. And why this campaign has been launched recently, we all know about this, right? Hand hygiene, the social distancing, mask, we all know. But it is a festive season that is coming up. Festive season as in Navratris are coming up, then we have Diwali coming up. So these are a few major festivals that are celebrated in India, right? So, Jan Andolan has been launched by the Prime Minister of India on his social media platform Twitter for passing on the basic messages of COVID. Right. Next is Sarah Hall. She is the first writer to win BBC National Short Story Award. So Sarah Hall has recently won BBC National Short Story Award for the second time. Now, how can you expect the question? First of all, who was the winner of BBC National Short Story Award for 2020? That is one of the possible questions. The second question that we can expect is that who is the author of the book The Gnostics? So they can ask you about the book directly, that who is the author of this book, and you'll have to answer that is Sarah Hall. Or for which book or for which short story did Sarah Hall win the BBC National Short Story Award? Then the question will have the options as book. Apart from this, now we are saying that she has won it for the second time. So when was the first time that she won it? She won it in 2013 for Mrs. Fox. So her first time winning of BBC National Short Story Award was in 2013 for her book Mrs. Fox. As for BBC National Short Story Award, it is a British literary award, just like we have Pulitzer as an American literary award, a literary and journalism award. Similarly, from British side, we have BBC National Short Story Award, which was formed in 2005 by Nesta, and it has a award money of 15,000 euros or pounds, right? Next, Kotak Mutual Fund MD Nilesh Shah has been re-elected as Association of Mutual Funds of India chairman. So we have another news event from the appointments section, which states that Nilesh Shah is still the AMFI chairman, or Association of Mutual Funds of India chairman. Then we have Startup India Showcase, which is an online delivery platform for startups, which has been started by DPIIT. So DPIIT has started this initiative for online startups, right? So that is basically to promote the e-marketplace that we have right now and to build it up on a better scale, right? The basic thing about we'll have is about DPIIT. So it comes under which ministry is important, and it comes under Ministry of Commerce and IT, which you can easily guess also. Next, World Bank released its biennial poverty and shared prosperity report. From here, you can expect a question about who releases this biennial report and with the frequency of what years is poverty and shared prosperity report released. So it's a biennial report, and second of all, it is released by World Bank. Third thing that has been released in this report is that COVID's effect on the poverty rate right now, which has made it go to extreme level. Until 2021, there are hardly any chances of it being covered up or taken care of, right? Alright, next news event, Kisan Rath mobile app has been launched by Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal. So basically the Kisan Rath initiative has gone online, as we can say. And how is it going to help? It is going to help in ordering the or increasing the sale of agricultural products by bringing it online. So now they don't have to physically be present to purchase the stuff. They can purchase it online. So in that way, it is going to help them. Right? And who has developed this app is National Informatics Center NIC. What we have important part from Assam is that its capital, Chief Minister and Governor. Capital is Dispur, Chief Minister is Sarvananda Sonowal as written over here, and then Governor is Jagdish Mukhi. Assam has quite been in news, so at least remember these three important people from here, right? Next we have is NDDB and Ladakh. So Union Territory of Ladakh and National Dairy Development Board. Both of them have signed or opened up a survey on development and promotion of dairy in the Union Territory of Ladakh. So in Ladakh area, NDDB is working on improving the dairy produce as well as the consumption of it. Right, so setting up dairy, feed and fodder availability is there or not, and supply chain and consumer chain is working currently fine or not, what breeds are available, and what is the maximum utilization of those breeds, right? That is the basic idea of it. What we have important is the headquarters of NDDB, which is in Gujarat. So NDDB is headquartered in Anand in Gujarat. That is important. Second of all, we have the chairman, that is Amrita. Chairman is Amrita Patel for NDDB. For Ladakh, on the other hand, we know the governor or lieutenant governor is R.K. Mathur, and capital is Leh. Dinesh Khara is the, not basically capital, I'm sorry, Union Territory of Ladakh has two basic districts, Leh and Kargil. Right. Dinesh Khara has been appointed as chairman of SBI in a recent appointment for 3 years. For the term period of 3 years, he has been appointed as the chairperson of SBI. And whom has he replaced? He is going to replace Rajneesh Kumar. What we have, the news apart from this is about the headquarters of SBI, which is in Mumbai. And for all the banking aspirants, we have separate videos as well. So in a recent video where we were talking about the history of banking of India, it was told to you that the Imperial Bank of India was formed into State Bank of India. So it was Imperial Bank which converted to State Bank of India. It's going to be important for banking students. So Imperial Bank, which was formed by the Britishers of East India Company, it was converted to SBI in 1955, and therefore establishment of SBI we say is 1955. Right, so that you study in the history. The video has already been uploaded on the Hindi channel of Entry. You can visit that channel, and then you have the app of Entry. So you all can go to this app for daily current affairs quiz, which is uploaded daily. It has 10 questions for 10 marks. In 6 minutes you have to answer all these questions, and then you can also analyze them. So it's not much, it's just 10 questions. You just need to take out 5 minutes from your day and answer these questions, which will help you keep in touch with current affairs, right? So if you like this video and you find it useful, do hit the like button, share the video as much as possible. For PDFs and stuff, you can go to my Telegram channel, Current Affairs by Ashima Shukla, and for further updates on my videos, you can subscribe to that channel or join that channel. Thank you so much for being with us, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye, take care, and have a great day ahead. Good luck with your preparation.